Nigeria will be great again. All that nonsense, right? Ask your papa, ask your parents. They might be from that same, you might have inherited that foolishness from them. Seriously. Hmm? No pun intended. I be kept pun intended. No, ni kilo madi. Bere lọ́wọ́ bàbá àti ìyá ẹ when they were your age, at the age of 30, at the age of 40. Ask them, how did they see Nigeria? Did they tell themselves that Nigeria will be great one day? We reality the parents, you have done the born. You tell your children, Nigeria will be great again. Below a year at Baba, when was like Nigeria great? When? They are telling you that you hate Nigeria. Now you know you hate Nigeria. Listen, some of you have already accepted the guilt. Somebody, one lunatic, will just jump on social media. And then you see, man, I don't like how, you see, we Nigerians, our own is too much. We always talk bad about our country. That is why if you say Nigeria is not going to work, that is why it's not going to work. Let me tell you something. You need to say positive thing about your country if you want it to work. I tell you, now over 75% of Nigerians have mental health problem. Like, some see the wear clothes. Me talk more. Now the Ministry of Health declared that, and that was even before naira becomes 1,600 naira to $1. Before a bag of rice becomes 90,000 naira. Before a bag of beans became 120,000 naira. But they jump on social media, and some of you will reply, or maybe you self get your own mental problem too. Thank you, Jare, my sister. I don't know what is wrong with our people. Every day, they will be talking bad about Nigeria. And they don't know that all these things they are saying is why Nigeria is not working. That is why I dey pray for Nigeria, I pray that Nigeria in Jesus' name. And that's the problem. Except you are diagnosed. You will never know. You get that? We have people like that. They kind of try to gaslight you. They say that because they talk good. That is why. Some people are sabotaging Dangote refinery. Now because love Nigeria. All these things you are saying about you need to say positive thing about your country. It's positive thing. Now, because you are not saying positive thing, that is why Nigeria cannot defeat terrorism. Oh, because you are not saying positive thing. That is why the criminals in Nigeria, they ignore healthcare, ignore the education, and they had so much money to spend on new building, new house, new cars, new private jets too, new yacht. Baba, now because wish Nigeria well, that is why these people are taking the money that they are supposed to spend on development. So now you then go blame. You don't know that you have to wish your country well. You have to pray for. I don't know why Nigerians are already. There are people like that. It is not your fault. You are a victim, even though some of you are also enablers. It's complicated, Abby. Maybe not. Just choose where you belong, where you play your own role. How much have you tried to help enable this madness by gaslighting others, blaming somebody like me? There are people who blame me. I tell you, there are this, this alawokus, these sanwo-weres, right? That believes that if they can just arrest this guy, if they just arrest me, I don't do anything. No, me oshinkokon. I begin to you even use. If they arrest me now, what you go say I do? Yes, you are inciting the people to ask for good government. That's what you did. That is a very, very bad thing to do to your country, to ask for a good government, to ask for the people in government to be responsible and stop looting. You are inciting the people to ask people to stop looting. How dare you? Arrest him. They want me arrested in handcuffs. So that maybe Naira can gain strength. You know, Mayegun under arrest. So look at him now. He cannot talk again. Now, these people be the problem of Nigeria. I know this guy. This Mayegun guy, is the problem of Nigeria. And then you will see other ways. Thank you, Jare, my brother. I've been watching him for 5 years. I've been praying for this day. That one day they go put a cuff on his hand. Make them deport him from that UK. There are lunatics like that. They come here every evening. I don't do anything. I don't do anything alone. Ask them. They go tell you, say, I just don't like him. I don't like him. The way he talk about our leader. I am talking about looters. I'm talking about the economic saboteurs, destroyers. And then you have people there. You say, I'm waiting for this guy. Make them pick. Because they believe that maybe if they put an call for my hand, Naira go begin the gbera. They don't care. Do you get that? So you have them like that. They come and don't listen to them. I'm about where they argue you. Some of them, if you see them one-on-one, you are going to go and see a therapist. If you say one lunatic like that, I think saying a human being that they talk to. Bro, okay, what about if I they go left, they go right? If I won't follow and go that right, that's okay. Is that what you mean? Okay, what about it go left again? I can't they chase the way about. Now, when I finally found, I said, we're in Mumbagi, Lori social media. How many people saw me chasing this way, by the way? You know, that moment you begin to be like, come on. I have been responding to one Luna. When Timumba discussed Latin, I've seen it before. And why is all that? It's simply because the criminals who have captured Nigeria, okay, they have voluntary slaves that will tell you that these guys, they mean well for Nigeria. Meanwhile, they watch them fritter away all of their common patrimony every now and then. When you now say, look at that one. Now all of them are the same. Let us just pray that may they just have fear of God. They show you people where they steal your future. You say, may we pray for them. Now all of them, they steal. What do you mean all of them? Now you answer, what do you want me to do, Jari? I'm tired of this country. May God just answer our prayer. Now only God help us. Help where Paul alone should help until help, all right. And the criminals are now the ones who are now kind of like, we know what Nigeria wants. You don't know what anybody wants, but what you want. And that is why somebody like this will be saying, after being a commissioner 8 years in Lagos, serve as somebody who was like internally displaced politician, nearly died in the UK. He nearly died in London. Using our NHS team on some tax. Dele Alakori came here to come and fight what they call when he had hypertension. He had hypertension. He had one other thing, we say if he caused cardiac AS, he survived heart attack. They don't get anywhere for Lagos to treat him. They brought him to UK. NHS, we me they pay tax for. And they treat the animal. He is back to life to go and unleash further shege on the rest of you. He had this to say after their supposed, what was it yesterday? National Council of State meeting. Dele Alakori said, if una no dey okay with the way Kolu is ruining Nigeria, wait till 2027. Boko Haram ni o, Jolantan ni o, the rest of them, they have all endorsed Tifnumbu as doing perfectly well. In his own words, Alakori.
Okay. Thank you. Wait till you enter that. Thank you.
Yes, good evening, gentlemen and ladies, and welcome to this very brief briefing. As you're all aware, the Council of State just concluded its meeting with all the former heads of state in attendance, physically or virtually. The last count, I think quite most of them were the physically attending ones, the former head of state, General Buhari, and Goodluck Jonathan were there physically, and the rest were there virtually via Zoom. So in essence, in principle, all of them were in attendance, and that's a very eloquent testimony to the kind of support that they are giving to our current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. A lot of issues were exhaustively discussed at the meeting. And of course, you know that apart from the former heads of state, the constitutional composition of the Council of State includes all governors, security advisor, attorney general, and the rest. So the governors were all in attendance as well. And some of us ministers were invited to make presentations on our roadmap on what we've been able to achieve, the prospects and the challenges in our various ministries. And so myself, the Solid Minerals, coordinating minister of the economy, as the finance minister, Mr. Wale Edu, was also there to make presentation. The Minister of Budget was also there, made his presentation. The Minister of Works also made presentation. The Minister of Trade and Investment, Dr. Doris, was also there. The Minister of Agriculture also was invited. So these 7 of us ministers made individual presentations to the Council of State meeting. And our presentations were well received from the feedback that we got immediately after individual presentations. And of course, at the end of it, matters of state were discussed in a robust manner and frank manner. And the National Security Advisor also was on hand to present the security situation of the country, and he did inform the Council of State, about the pre, during, and post events of the last protest, which I do not call a protest. I call a movement to effect a change of regime by force, which was also resisted. And so, the council thanked Nigerians at large for resisting any unconstitutional move to change government. If anybody is not satisfied with the government, any current administration, there's always an election coming. So you wait for election and cast your vote the way you deem fit. So the NSA briefed the council on the security situation and allayed fears all around that In my books, that should be the $1,000 fine. Huh? So after the NSA's briefing, generally he allayed everybody's fears and spoke on the tightness of the security around the country, and also reassured all and sundry that nobody will be allowed to truncate our hard-earned democracy. Any change of government has to be through the ballots and not through the barrel of the gun or through insurrection or through any other unconstitutional means. Only through the ballot box can any government be changed. And he reassured on the security readiness of all security agencies in the country, to secure our territorial integrity and to protect Nigeria's democracy. Now, the details of the presentation that the ministers did, will be too long for you, but succinctly put, is just to let the Council of State know the progress being made in each sector of the economy. And the emphasis, of course, by the Renewed Hope agenda is on economic diversification. And that's why I was there. That's why Greek was there. That's why all the other ministers, that constitute, or the ministries that constitute the plank of the Renewed Hope agenda's economic diversification and transformation. The chairman of the Governors Forum,
you can actually smell, the stench of his arrogance. Yeah, we have the power. We just told the Council of States the readiness. People were asking Tifnumbu to reverse economic policies that impoverished them. Dele Alakori and Co. They said it's an insurrection to remove Tifnumbu. Therefore, the Nigerian police and the Nigerian army, they killed 51 people. And yeah, it's right. He said they resisted. And also confidently he said, just so you know, the readiness of the security agents to protect and secure the integrity of Nigeria. You have to wait till next election. If anybody is not comfortable with the style of Tifnumbu, you wait till the next election, not by the barrel of guns or through any other. What is he talking about? Well, I'm happy that this is what it is that way, okay? Because we are doing economic diversification. Diversification to what? If I ask you now, diversification to what? To agriculture, that you are now growing your food. But maybe you should listen to this Kwara clown. He's also one of them. I swear. But listen to this Kwara clown.
We did had a very robust meeting. The high note of the meeting was a unanimous passage of a vote of confidence on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces. Members, especially those of the Nigerian Governors Forum, were satisfied with the presentation by the members of the Federal Executive Council. And after that meeting, there was an executive session between members of the Nigerian Governors Forum and Mr. President. And Frank and fruitful discussions were held between both parties, and I'm glad to say we're on the right track. And in the same vein, members of the NGF also, like the members of the Council of State, passed a vote of confidence on Mr. President. We also wish him well and pray for God's guidance for him. Thank you very much.
Please, can anybody tell me one single thing that you can pick from what he said that really says the discussion they had was so fruitful? Because it was on what? Okay. People should know that, we met, all of us, all the leaders, we met, we discussed, and it was fruitful. Okay, we are on the right track. All I can say to everybody is that we are on the right track. Right track. And then Wale Idun, this is the one that they said is the head of those who are in charge of Nigeria economy. Finance Minister Wale Idun is the one who took over the job of Omo Beta. Remember Omo Beta? Beta Edu. So Omo Beta that was accused of stealing or mismanaging over 7 billion in 7 months. He became minister. You mismanaged 7 billion naira in 7 months. They can't put her on suspension as we speak. Our office was supposed to be sharing money like Shadia, the former Bokwari's Minister of Disaster and Poverty Management. Shadia Farouk. That was what Omo Beta was doing before they suspended her. Now, Wale Idun is the one who has now taken over that job of sharing money. Wale Idun is the one that said, if you're unemployed right now, you feel go collect money. Oh, I'm going to go look for those links. Go try them. What do you have to lose? If you send you money right now, because everyone who can say, I've collected money. That simply means that millions of others have collected in the book of the Wale Idun and Co. Same guy who was on your screen 6 months ago, telling you that if Numbu's policy of the World Bank, of the economy, rejuvenation and subversion and all of that, all other word salads. He spoke yesterday because then give them vote of confidence. Like scavengers, people where they feed off you, they met. Abi? They now say, you are doing well. You're doing well. And that means they are doing well. Listen to Wale Idun. This one not too long, okay?
As my colleague, Honorable Minister for Solid Minerals, as well as the Chairman, Nigerian Governors Forum and Governor of Kwara State have said, we did have the opportunity and the privilege to present to the Council of State, and in particular, the former presidents who turned out in large number to participate, and we had the opportunity to, in my case, update them on the economy, update them on how far progress had been made in terms of the macroeconomic policies being followed under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And these policies are anchored in his 8 priority areas. And the results to date have been very encouraging. We looked at the data, or we reported on the evidence and the data of this half year for which data was available compared to the first quarter and the second quarter of 2023. And in broad terms, the economy is growing. The balance of payments in particular, the trade balance and the current account balance are in surplus. The exchange rate is stabilizing. And inflation, though high, uncomfortably high for the liking of Mr. President and his team, it is slowing and it is set to fall. But in particular, there has been support for the economy from investors. foreign investors by way of portfolio investors, domestic investors who are participating in important private-public partnerships, particularly in the infrastructure sector. And foreign direct investment is beginning to recover, I would say. So on that basis, we looked at we reported on, in particular, the opportunities for the economy once stabilized for investment and growth. And identified for the meeting was the fact that we have exports, goods exports, non-oil exports at $55 billion last year, with tremendous room to grow. And in particular, we identified that the service sector, that is software services, computer services, accounting services, personnel services, which can be provided by young